Welcome everybody into our SNY studios. Omyung Masuk is here, Brandon Tierney as well. And we are joined right now by Philip Schwalb from the Sports Museum of America, which is going to be opening up in downtown Manhattan later this spring, correct?
In the Canyon of Heroes in May, early May.
And okay, here's my question about this. I'm surprised that when I saw this was the first true sports museum in the entire country. I mean, one that is dedicated solely to sports. I was surprised to hear that. Why is it taking so long to get one open?
Yeah, your makeup artist asked me the same question. It's
Angela, she's very intuitive.
It's hard to believe. She is very intuitive and a good makeup artist. It is hard to believe. There was an article on us in the Chicago Tribune that said it's a little bit like rolling luggage. It's just hard to understand why no one did it sooner. It's a sports-crazed country. And you can tell from the parade today. Frankly, I almost missed the interview here because I was down in the thick of it in the Canyon of Heroes where our museum will be. It's a sports-crazed country, and there has never been anywhere a large museum for other than one sport. And what we've done is teamed up with all those single sport museums like Canton. So Canton is helping us build the pro football wing. The college football hall is helping build the college football wing. Yep. We're the new home, permanent home of the Heisman Trophy and its ceremony since the closing of the Downtown Athletic Club. Baseball, basketball, each Hall of Fames from all over the country helping to build the thing. It's kind of a Smithsonian of sports.
Now, I remember after the Mets won the division 2 years ago, the people from Steiner Sports were just like getting everything. I mean, collecting every single piece of equipment, clothing. I mean, you even saw earlier this year, Manny Ramirez's jockstrap was for sale on eBay. They'll get everything. How do you...
What kind of bid did you put in, Carter?
You could tell. I knew when I looked at him right away. It was so stupid for me to even mention that, you jerk.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But how do you procure everything for the museum? Because it can't be the easiest thing.
No, and Manny offered the jockstrap, and we turned it down. So, but the nice way that we've done is we're working with all these halls of fame. There's over 60. And they range from Special Olympics to the U.S. Olympic Committee to the Basketball Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame, etc. So they've provided all the artifacts. The Hockey Hall of Fame has given us all the Gretzky, all the Messier stuff, all the NHL stuff. They brought the Stanley Cup down a couple times for press conferences. So it all comes from all those 60 partners, which include even smaller museums like the Yogi Berra Museum out in New Jersey, which you guys probably know. Right. Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City. So it's over 60 museums, and they've donated all the memorabilia and artifacts, plus players. A lot of guys, Jose Reyes, Santana, football players like Strahan, all guys have also wanted to get their stuff in front of folks.
What do you think will be the most expensive item you'll have in the house?
I don't know about most expensive. I tell you some that mean a lot to us already. Jimmy Craig has given us the flag that he wore around his shoulders when he was looking for his dad after the Miracle on Ice win. It's real emotional. Jesse Owens' diary that he kept at the 36 Olympics. Brandi Chastain has given us the sports bra that she had when they when she iced the World Cup game. So there's stuff like that in every room, whether it be golf, Jack Nicklaus putter that he used to win the U.S. Open. There's stuff like that in every room.
You know what I'd like to see?
You tell me and we'll get it.
I think you might.
Besides Brandy's bro?
I've always been fascinated with, if you look at the 50s, now, Carter, we're going to give you an education here, pal, when it comes to college basketball.
Okay, I'll listen up.
No,
is he old school?
No, he's not. No. I'm more old school than he is, I would say.
I got a little. No, I don't agree with that.
You don't think?
No, I think we're both old school anyway. So if you look at the 1950s, like before, even when St. John's was great in basketball, you look at like there was the whole point shaving scandal. Yeah. And I'd love to see some. I don't know if there's enough. There's nothing in the city that points to that, like the CCNYs and how good NYU used to be. Teams that right now are D3 or non-existent. I think you'd get a lot of focus here in the city with that.
Great history. Long Island U was a top team, NYU. So we go back. We've got yesterday Louis Carseca. Louis donated a sweater. Nice. Which would be a great artifact. So we go back to all the history. The Bob Cousy, who was our first. We've got a board of about 50 athletes from Martina Navratilova to Bob Cousy to Joe Frazier, you name it. And it goes back to old timers, but it goes as new as a Jason Kidd or the old stories will be told, but I think as importantly the new stories. We got a big problem based on this Giants deal is we've got 20 films in the venue. We cut an extremely expensive 20-foot by 15-foot video wall film narrated by Troy Aikman. Greatest Super Bowl catches and comebacks. Film's done. We've got an issue. We're gonna have to redo it and
got to
fit in the catch and the win. So we got some work to do.
Sports Museum of America going to be opening up this spring downtown. Philip Schwalb is here. You saw City Hall. In just a few moments, we'll send it back out there where the Giants are going to be addressing the fans that have been out there all morning long for this parade.
What about some of the old broadcasters like Ernie Harwell spent a lot of time here before he went to Detroit?
Great question, especially since that's what you guys do.
Well, you'll never have a Cotter artifact in here. That's what we know.
Like we just mentioned, they've already got the street named after Tierney. Of course you're going to see his bust in there.
We've got a room dedicated to you guys at SNY. No, seriously, there is toward the end of the museum, there's a really nice tribute to the great broadcasters from Dick Enberg to Vince Scully.
Phil Rizzuto.
Phil Rizzuto. And so you get a chance, we'll sneak him in. There's going to be...
with a head like that, you're not going to sneak him anyway. I mean, you're going to have an entire wing for him.
But I'll tell you what kids will get to do, which is going to be a lot of fun, is you can get in these broadcast booths and you can take like a Giants win the pen call, and you can do it over in your own voice. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a nice honor.
You have a lot of newspaper front pages and old papers and things like that.
Oh, you're on the writing side of it. We'll work on that. We'll get that done. We'll get that done.
Sure, we can work something with the Daily News.
Any blogs from the 1940s?
When does it open again?
We open May 7th. We hope everybody will come out and visit. And it's literally right if you got off the Statue of Liberty ferry at Battery Park and you looked up at the beginning of the Canyon of Heroes where today's parade started, where the bull is, we're right there.
Okay, this Giants, you talk about the Giants film that you're going to have to splice in there with the great catches of all time. But what do you look for with this Giants team? As soon as you know they're Super Bowl champs, and obviously with it being here in New York, you want to open with a splash in May with a lot of Giants stuff. What do you go to them as a team and say, look, we would like this, this, and this, or what can you give me, or individual players?
Yeah, we do. We've done all three. John Tisch, the Tisch man, is also head of New York City's tourism board, so he's been helpful for a few years getting this thing off the ground. There have been times we've gone to them. They've lent us a Super Bowl trophy from the past. So you're going to see interesting things like that, but the agents and the players and the team front office, they've all been helpful because, again, they have the same concept basically that you mentioned, which is, wow, I play sports my whole life. In every city in the country, there's a dozen art museums, science, children's museums. Why has there never been a massive museum in a major city celebrating the history of sports? And you guys, as sports fans, know that means really baseball, football, hockey, figure skating, golf.
Too,
we've got a great gallery on golf.
Do you even go to like the smaller sports, because you mentioned golf? It's a huge sport, but it's not like the big four. I mean, do you even go to sports like lacrosse? Native Americans, started the sport of lacrosse.
Yeah, America's oldest sport. We've got a great lacrosse tribute to college lacrosse, which is huge, and it's a really fast-growing sport. So we've also partnered up with governing bodies like U.S. Lacrosse, U.S. Soccer, USA Basketball, USA Hockey. They're part of the 60 entities that are helping to put together what everybody feels is the first ever national kind of a Smithsonian of sports.
You guys have extreme sports too now?
Extreme sports, we didn't have it. It was a great question. We're halfway through the process. We didn't have it, realized it was a huge mistake, and so there is a great gallery with a lot of audiovisual and media and interactives that's dedicated to extreme sports.
Anything specific from this Giants team that you would want, like the number one thing?
I'd like to see us put Strahan like in a booth,
like cryogenically frozen.
Yeah, just
Han Solo.
Strahan. We actually
fresh off the Super Bowl.
The Canton, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, who's one of our 60 partners, has given us Strahan's cleats from when he broke the sack record a few years ago.
Oh, when Favre took a spill for him.
Yeah, the spill.
Buddy.
But I'd like to have Strahan at the front door. That would be
as a greeter.
I think as a greeter.
You get like a mold of his gap tooth.
The big gap
sort of like Leon Spinks was for a while in Detroit. Maybe a little more intelligent. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back with super intelligence right here in Brandon Tierney. All right, we got to thank Philip Schwalb from Sports Museum of America. May 7th, it opens up downtown near this place right here that you're seeing. That's City Hall, and we are going to be going back out there shortly to have the Giants address the big crowds down there when they receive their keys to the city. We'll be back in a minute.
Thanks, Mel.